Rosie O'Donnell has given her own child TDS now? What? Rosie O'Donnell admits she has given her autistic son TDS, says he slams the table in anger at Trump's name. Rosie O'Donnell's far-left politics appear to be rubbing off on her son. In an interview with former CNN host Jim Acosta, the exiled so-called comedian admitted her 12-year-old Clay, who is both autistic and so-called transgender, would often bang his hands on the table in frustration when talking about President Trump.
My daughter is now saying, damn him, damn Trump, and smashing her hand on the table. And I said, wow, honey, what are you thinking? And she said, he made us move in order for our own safety. And it's now he's destroying the country. You know, listen,
wow.
She lives here. She hears what I'm saying to you. Not that I go around speaking like this every day if it's not an interview, but I think to myself, you don't want to give this to her. You know, whatever this thing is of me thinking that I have to somehow stand in defiance of him. No, I don't. Somebody can tap me out, you know. I did 22 years. I don't really need to do anymore. And I don't want my kid to be so affected by it. And, you know, she has autism.
It's a little too late for that, Rosie. Your child has clearly picked up off of your TDS. The example you set, the words you say, the attitude you have, the anger and the hatred you transmit will obviously be picked up by a child because you set the example. As horrific as that sounds, Rosie O'Donnell set an example, a very bad one, a very negative one, and in my opinion, a very evil one. Now the mind of a child has been absolutely filled with hatred for Donald Trump because of you. Enjoy, Rosie. Speaking of President Trump, are you stupid? President Trump obliterates a reporter who asked why he blames Biden for Afghan terrorists entering the United States. President Donald Trump obliterated a so-called reporter who dared to question why he holds Joe Biden responsible for allowing the Afghan terrorist who ambushed 2 National Guard members in Washington, D.C. in the United States, which left a member of the West Virginia National Guard dead and another in critical condition. The exchange happened during a press gaggle that quickly turned into a masterclass in how to handle the corrupt, low-IQ press. The reporter had the audacity to ask, quote, why do you blame the Biden administration? Trump's response was brutal, but honest.
Why do you blame the Biden administration?
Because they let him in. Are you stupid? Are you a stupid person? Because they came on a plane along with thousands of other people that shouldn't be here, and you're just asking questions because you're a stupid person. And there's a law passed that it's almost impossible not to get them out. You can't get them out once they come in. And they came in, and they were unvetted, they were unchecked, there were many of them, and they came in on big planes, and it was disgraceful. And if you look, you'll see there was a law passed. It makes it almost impossible not to let them in, not to certify them, so to speak, once they come in. And they came in, and they shouldn't have come in. And frankly, the whole thing was a mess. The whole Afghanistan situation was a mess. It should have never taken place. If we're going to go out, and we would have gone out because I had everybody ready to go, we were going to go out with strength and dignity and precision, and we would have left for Bagram, and we would have kept Bagram, by the way, because of its very close relationship to China and where they make their missiles. But when you let the people come in by the thousands and thousands and thousands, they made a terrible mistake. But they were incompetent, yeah.
Well, that reporter is definitely incompetent. Talk about not being able to read the room. That reporter got put in their place. Good. But also, it's a lot more than just incompetence from the last regime. It was intentional. It was an intentional invasion. It's replacement migration. Tens of millions of people, nearly 30 million people, illegal aliens from all over the world, violent third world countries, were imported into the United States for this very reason. Not just to replace us and drain us economically, but to kill us. Cancer, acne rosacea, multiple sclerosis, and rheumatoid arthritis. are 4 different diseases in 4 different areas of medicine. What if they can all be treated with parasite medication, and that turns out for these diseases to be true? What if I told you that if you had a pet or ate sushi, you are more likely to have parasites? This means that a lot of our ailments that we experience every day are caused not by environmental issues, but by parasites as well. This is something Big Pharma does not want you to know about. I know many of us check off many of these boxes. This is why Purge is offering their new liver cleanse products for all of you out there that need to clear those toxins out once and for all. PurgeStore.com offers everything you need to cleanse and detox your body. Powerful enzymes and probiotics, 15-day colon cleanse protocols, liver cleanse, and of course, the parasite cleanse. Right now, if you go to PurgeStore.com and use promo code DREW, that's DREW, you will get 20% off your entire order. Use the link in the description below, PurgeStore.com, and support the Gateway Pundit today. The Gateway Pundit is supported by the people, we the people, that is you, the American people. We thank you for your support. Speaking of incompetent, Pelosi's wild CNN interview fixates on January 6th while ignoring Biden-era chaos. Nancy Pelosi walked onto Capitol Hill this week for her first interview since announcing her retirement after 20 terms in Congress. The interview, conducted by CNN's Anderson Cooper and aired from the United States Capitol in Washington, D.C., was supposed to be a moment of reflection, a chance for the former speaker to discuss her career, her policies, and her vision for the country she claimed to love. Instead, before Cooper even cleared his first question during their tour of National Sanctuary Hall, Pelosi immediately launched into the same tired script Democrats rely on every time they want to avoid accountability: pivot to J6. Standing in the historic hall under the Lincoln-built dome, Pelosi told Cooper that patriots who visited the Capitol that day defecated on the floor.
Right there she is, Cleo. Cleo is the muse of history. And she was writing down everything. I keep saying the member. She's writing down everything she hears you say here.
What do you think she's recording about the history of our times right now?
What do you think she was writing on January 6th? Appalled.
She was there on January 6th. She saw it all.
Yeah, she saw it all. She was there. She was there.
When you walk through here, how much do you think about January 6th?
Well, I think about January 6th, but here and also in the rotunda. Then that's the dome, under the dome that Lincoln built. So this is, they defecated on the floor. That's what they did. These patriots, hostages, they defecated on the floor. That's what they did here.
Do you think history will remember what actually happened here?
I think so. I think so. I think there's going to be a lot of, shall we say, rehabilitation.
Talk about some serious projection. Defecating in the Capitol? Gee, when you really think about it, who is probably more capable of doing such a thing? J6ers or Nancy Pelosi? Just stop and think about that for a second. Jasmine Crockett calls for expanding the Supreme Court in unhinged rant. Representative Jasmine Crockett used a town hall this week with Menifee for Congress to deliver one of the most aggressive attacks on the Supreme Court in recent memory, calling the institution utterly trash and demanding the Democrats expand it. The event took place in Texas and was intended to cover redistricting and election issues. But Crockett quickly turned it into a pitch for court-packing legislation. She said she already has a number of bills prepared and complained that she only needs more Democrats to help her pass them. Her remarks confirmed a trend that has been building inside the Democrat Party for years and placed her alongside figures such as Adam Schiff, Elizabeth Warren, and other prominent Democrats who have embraced court expansion as a routine talking point. Crockett told attendees that the court needs reform ASAP, arguing that expansion is necessary because the current court does not consistently deliver outcomes aligned with Democrat policy goals. She did not offer a constitutional argument, but instead focused on the court's refusal to act in ways she supports.
Jasmine? Jesus. Okay.
Take your time. Take your time.
So for sure, we need Supreme Court reform ASAP. I have a number of bills for that if I could just get, enough Democrats to help me get this done. But we need ethics reform. We need to expand the court. There's a lot that we need to do with this Supreme Court because of how utterly trash they are.
This whole woke DEI hire era has brought a lot of destruction to this country. But it's also showed us one thing: exactly where we don't need to go, exactly where we don't need to be, exactly what we should not be doing. It's not profitable. There's no net positive. These people only lead us to further destruction because they're low IQ. They have no idea what they're doing, but that's why they're placed there. For the internal destruction of the West. Just because you're not getting a ruling that you don't like because it doesn't align with your politics, that's a call to pack the court, the Supreme Court, the highest court in the United States of the land. That's why they should be rejected. But they're a good example to show us just exactly where we should not go as Americans. My name is Drew Hernandez for the Gateway Pundit, and you have been on Watch with Drew Hernandez. I'll see you guys on the next one.